Hello, stampers and crafters. This is Kevon from ktstamps.com, creating cards for you. Oh my God, today is Hump Day Sketches, and I am so excited to share with you these beautiful colors. We have brand new colors. And in those colors, oh my God, they're just so beautiful together. One of my favorite new colors is called Babble Bath. Wow, it is one of those things that I just absolutely love. I love the fact that it is a pink, and I have been waiting for a pink for a long time. Really am excited about that. And then the next color is the Moody Mauve. I love Moody Mauve. It is such a beautiful color. There are times that I'm trying to figure out whether it is a little purple, a little red, a little, what do I want to say, maroon, but it's been a long time since Stampin' Up! Has had a color like that. And then, of course, Blackberry Bliss. Oh, those purples just really make me excited. So these are the three colors that we are going to work with today. And I'm also teaching you a brand new technique called a splatter background. And we are using the, the paint, the watercolor paints, the water painters for that. Okay. So I'm going to get us started right away so we have all this taken care of. And of course, I forgot my paper. So we're going to get ourselves started immediately. All right. And on this is the card that we are going to be making today. Let me start all over again. This is the card that we are going to be making today. It is one that, if you can see the background, it kind of sparkles. So I've kind of added a little bit more to it. And it was also an opportunity to use the timeless arrangements. And these are beautiful. I love them. One of my favorite things are, look at all these beautiful die cuts. Oh my God. They just make die cutting easy. There's boxes here, rectangles, I should say. So then you can use the words that they have and put them in a rectangle. I mean, this is one of my favorite things to do, is just to go around. Nope, that one won't fit there. Oh my God, this one fits right here. It's beautiful. Okay. You're my everything. You know, it doesn't really fit that great, but then again, you get this. And I know that you can see the me too, but you can also add more things to it. Okay. The thank you just fits in here just so perfectly. But today we are using "You Are the Best." I say that all the time. You're the best. So they do proper grammar compared to myself. So that is what we're doing today. And we are using this beautiful die, and it's going to go on the top and on the bottom. So you will cut this twice. You know, these are really awesome. I don't know if we can see, but there's a little X on the north, south, east, and west. Otherwise, they're just stitched. They're absolutely beautiful. And then the last one we are going to use is this bush along with the flower that I stamped. So we have these things that we are using today. So excited to share this with you. All right. So, a couple of housekeeping things. We are using Bubble Bath, and Bubble Bath is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then for the inside, okay, the card, it is 4 by 5 1/4. Then we have the mauve, and this is basic white. And then we have the Moody Mauve that measures 3.5 by 4.5. And then we have our piece that we are doing our background on, and it measures 3 1/4 at 1 1/4. Now, we are going to need another piece of the basic white because we need to cut all the die cuts out. And the die cuts look like this. Let me move this so you can see. Here's one. We're going to put this together like this. Okay. And then I've already stamped. Okay. You are the best. And then we will add our purple, our Blackberry Bliss. And then we have our little flower that we will put right on here. All right, so that's what the front of our card is going to look like. We're going to build this. As you can see on this one, I brought out the chalk marker, and I don't know if we are selling that this year, so I decided that I would change it just a little bit. But I decided that once I colored this in, I should have used black or Memento, but I just decided that I would add to that. And on this one, I am just going to add the Moody Mauve and see how this looks once I create lines for this. We'll do that in a few minutes. All right, so let's get going with our splatter. All right, this is going to be a splatter background. So things that you need for your splatter background. One, you need to have a good place that is going to totally, okay, cover your area, because this can get pretty wild. It can get pretty crazy. Depending on how you want to do your splatter, you can either use an inker, or I have one of the old pads, and when I give it a squeeze, the old pad comes out and there's a lot of goop in it. The newer pads, let me bring out one of these. The newer pads, when you squeeze, they really don't leave you much. So this is when I would add the re-inker. Then we have our water painters, and these are kind of interesting because you have a smaller head. You can see it now. A smaller head, a larger head, and this one is what we should be doing the splatting in, but I decided not to do so in this. So with this, these are ones that if you try to open up the old-fashioned way where you turn towards the right, it's not going to open at all. So what needs to happen is that you need to turn it the opposite. And the opposite, it will open right up. You can add your water or you can add your alcohol, depending on what you are dealing with. All right, and again, remember to use it and go backwards. Now, the hardest part is trying to get it back in here. So I'm just going to leave that right now. I'm going to use the smaller smaller painter. Okay, so that's how we're going to start this out. Now, when you are using these, you want to make sure that you give it a little squeeze and water will drop from this. All right, and all we're going to do is get this wet. All right, and then you want to make sure, I'm just having a Kleenex by, but you want to make sure that you have something so you're able to wipe it off with. All right, so my first thing that I'm going to do is take my bone folder, take my water painter, and all I am going to do is tap it up against the bone folder. Here's what it looks like, so you can see the splatter. You know, ever since I am doing this, there we go. The sunlight just comes in. It's so beautiful. All right, so here's just a little bit more. Okay, so hopefully you can see how well that works out. Then you're just going to take this, kind of wipe off the tip, be very gentle with it, and all you're going to do is wipe it off until there is no more paint at the bottom. This may stay a little bit purple, but it will soon run out and you won't have any colors left to it. Okay, so we're going to put a hold on this one so we can just keep going. Otherwise, it's going to take forever. All right, so we are now taking our Kleenex, and all we're doing is daubing at the, oh, there's not a lot of ink. So this is what a real, splatter background would look like. But I decided I wanted to take it just a little bit further. So I am bringing in my Stella. And with my Stella, I am also bringing in my gold embossing folder. So before I do anything, I want to take my embossing buddy, and I just want to wipe off all the static, all the oils, everything off the card. And then from here, I'm going to use my bone folder to do the exact same things. And I'm just going to hit it. All right, and then immediately take it into my gold embossing. And color will start to show. It's really beautiful. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. I don't think you can see it yet. I'm going to try a different. Maybe I'm going to stay with this. And you just move either the painter, the water painter around, or with this, we're just going to use the Stella. So we're just going to close everything, get it all out of the way, and hopefully you'll see a little bit of shine that happens. So here we go. And I'm sorry for the noise. And this is very, very subtle. On what happens here. All right, let's take a look and see what this looks like right now. Let me get this out of the way. Oh, you can't see some of the shine. I am so sorry. But there is shine on this, just like you took a spritzer and shined on this all that you can. It's absolutely beautiful. So now we're going to bring in our silicone pad. And this is our Stampin' Seal. And for me, the Stampin' Seal works better when I have the silicone pad down. All right, and I'm just going to bring this on top of this. Okay, and you still cannot see that shine. Oh, sadness. And now from here, we're getting everything out of the way. And we are just going to add this onto the pink. But what I'm going to do is add it with some of the foam embossing sheets. So it kind of looks like this. All we're doing is taking these, hitting them in the corner, or not hitting them, but putting them in the corner. And this, it just gives it a little more of a solid type of a feel than adding lots and lots and lots of dimensionals. So I'm just going to add 2 more. And 1 more will be right there. And now I'm just going to take the tops off. And I'm just going to center these in the middle of the card. Oops. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's just beautiful. We have some sunshine for the first time in a long time in Seattle. So this is great. Oh, that just looks so nice. I don't know. I'll see if I can move a little bit so you can see how beautiful this top just sparkles. So now we are going to add our paper inside. And one of the things I like to do is that I do not like to add paper inside if I stamp on it. So I want to make sure that when I stamp on it, I keep it out, because if I make a mistake, then I can turn the page over, or the paper over. This is what I did on the outside. I took 2 different stamps. One is a very big, okay, and then the last part is thank you. So when I made this, I want to make sure that, because it is a photopolymer, I need to have a little bit of give underneath it. I don't want to stick the whole thing into my ink pad. And this is done with Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to just take it on the outside. Okay, as you can see, I'm only inking up the part of the stamp, okay, that I need to. There is an ink mark here. I can go ahead and erase it as I just stick this right in the middle. There we go. So there's our very big. Then I'm just going to switch out. I have the mauve that I am going to use, because I really wanted to make sure that I used lots of the different colors. so you could have just a little idea of how all the ink colors looked. And again, this turned out pretty nice. So very happy about that. So from here, I am just going to bring out my silicone pad again, turn it over, and find my Stampin' Seal. And just adhere it to the inside of the card. Now, some of you may be wondering, what is going on with my interesting little lines here? I do not know. I have tried changing the cutter or the blade from my paper trimmer, but I do not know what's going on. But it didn't cut in a very straight line. So we're going to bring in these, and first thing that I want to do is that I just want to bring in the mauve marker. These are exactly like the Stampin' Blends. You have the flare on one side, and then you have the real fine tip. It's a little bit bolder than a fine tip. And with that, all you have to do is look at the sides and it will tell you exactly what you need. The other unique thing is this is a little bit bolder than this line. All right, so that just lets you know that this is going to be the flare part. The flare part looks like this. And then you're going to have the bold part. And it's just going to have an end to it. Now, all I'm going to do is make these lines down here. And I'm trying to figure out whether I like this a little bit better than I like the chalk lines. And I'm just kind of adding my own little thing to it. So there we go. I think I like the chalk line better. But it's already done. But we're going to go ahead and take our Wink of Stella, give it a little color. So at least it stands out a little bit. All right. So now we're going to put all this together. So we are going to start out with these two pieces. And I'm just going to put them together. I'm taking this and I'm adding some of my Tombow glue. I like the Tombow glue just a little bit better than the Stampin' Seal. And we are just going to put this down. All right, doesn't that look beautiful? I love the look of this. All right, from here, we are just going to take some of our Tombow, and we are just going to add just a little down the leaf and to the sideline. So I want to give it just a little bit of a bigger area to connect with. Now I'm going to take this, and with my paper snips, I am just going to take off the bottom of that flower. Open up my Tombow, put a little bit, you can see just a little bit at the end, and I'm just going to stick it right in here. Now, I really like this being a kind of free-flowing type thing. With this, I really have not attached anything. I just let it kind of flow throughout the whole thing. It kind of pops up. I give it just a little bit of life. When you mail something like this, you really want to make sure that you put something over top of it. All right, this is just going to give you a little idea about where you're going to attach it in your card. And I'm just going to put some glue on this. And if you want to attach these, you can. It's kind of fun if you add small dimensionals underneath this because it will pop and raise the card. And from here, just kind of giving it a little rub. And from here, you can just see, I don't know, again, I'm going to add just a little bit of sun to see if we can get a little bit of sparkle action showing. It's like a sunshine for a long time. We haven't had a lot of sunshine here. All right. And so that is my card. There's only one last thing to do. And I need to address my envelope, but I will be right back with an envelope. I brought two over in case I forgot one again next time. I don't know if you guys ever do that. I have everything all ready to go. And then I go and I lose it. I don't know where it goes to. I don't have the faintest idea. So we're going to take our mauve and just our little flower stamp. And we're just going to go right up the edge. And all I'm doing is going all the way up. And if you have a label, then it's kind of fun to have something stick out underneath it just for a little, a little fun. I'm all about fun. So that is our card today. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Whoops, of course I got in there a little bit too early. So here's our card. I hope that you have enjoyed this. I hope that you create this. If there's anything that I can do for you, please, please, please let me know, and I will do so. So take care of yourself. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week for another Hump Day Sketches. So again, this is Kevon at ktstamps.com, creating cards for you. Thank you again. Bye, guys.